The outer colonies were never meant to last. Orbiting a dying red dwarf star on the fringes of mapped space, Outpost K-17 was a forgotten installation, half mining station, half graveyard for abandoned dreams. The kind of place where broken ships limped in and broken people stayed. Ethan Varek was one of them. He wasn't a soldier anymore. Wasn't a hero either, though once long ago, someone had called him that. These days, he was just a salvage pilot, scavenging derelict wrecks drifting through asteroid belts, selling scraps for enough credits to keep breathing another week. On that night, everything changed. It started with a signal. Ethan sat in his rusted cockpit, staring at the flickering console as static resolved into a distress call, barely audible, heavily corrupted. Under attack, royal vessel compromised, coordinates. Then silence. Ethan leaned back, rubbing his tired eyes. Royal vessel, he muttered. Out here? Royal meant high value. High value meant danger. He should have ignored it, but he didn't. The coordinates led him deep into an uncharted debris field, metal shards, shattered hulls, drifting corpses of ships that had never been recorded. And in the center of it all, a ship. Sleek. Massive. Alien. It pulsed faintly with bioluminescent veins, like something alive. Ethan's breath caught. I've never seen tech like this. The hull was torn open. Scorch marks lined its surface. Something had attacked it, and whatever it was, it had won. Ethan docked carefully, his instincts screaming at him to leave. Inside, the ship was silent. Too silent. He moved cautiously through organic corridors that seemed to breathe with a life of their own. The walls shimmered faintly, reacting to his presence. And then, a sound. A soft, broken gasp. Ethan followed it to a chamber at the heart of the ship. There, lying against a fractured throne-like structure, was her. She was unlike anything he had ever seen. Tall. Elegant. Skin like polished silver with faint glowing patterns running beneath it. Her eyes, deep violet, met his with a mixture of pain and something else. Authority. Even wounded, she radiated power. A queen. Alien. Dying. Ethan froze. This is not my problem, he whispered to himself. But she reached out. Her voice entered his mind. Not spoken, but felt. Help me. He hesitated. Humans didn't interfere with unknown alien royalty. That was rule one of survival. But then he saw the blood, dark, shimmering, pooling beneath her. And something in him broke. Damn it, he muttered. Ethan knelt beside her. I don't know what you are, he said quietly. But I'm not leaving you here. Her eyes widened slightly. You would help without knowing? He shrugged. Yeah. Stupid, right? A faint flicker of something passed across her face. Hope. Middle. The queen and the human. It took everything Ethan had to stabilize her. Her biology was alien, literally. His medkit struggled to adapt, scanning, recalibrating, guessing. Half the time, he wasn't even sure he wasn't making things worse. But she didn't die. Hours passed. Eventually, her breathing steadied. Her eyes opened again. You saved me, she said aloud this time, her voice soft but powerful. Ethan blinked. You speak English? I speak what you understand. He let out a short laugh. Convenient. She studied him closely. You are not afraid. Oh, I am, Ethan said. I'm just bad at listening to that feeling. A faint smile touched her lips. I am Queen Lyrie of the Ethri Dominion. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Of course you are. She tilted her head. You doubt me? No, he said. I just have terrible luck. This tracks. Over the next few hours, she told him what had happened. Her royal convoy had been ambushed by a hostile species known as the Karth, predatory, relentless, and feared across several systems. They sought to capture me, Lyrie said, to break me, to claim my empire through me. Ethan grimaced. Sounds like bad guys. They are worse than your imagination allows. He believed her. He had seen enough war to recognize truth when it spoke. Why are they out here? He asked. They followed me. Ethan stiffened. So, they might still be nearby? Her silence was answer enough. Great, he muttered. Just great. He moved her to his ship. It wasn't designed for royalty or aliens, but it was safer than the wreck. As he prepared to leave, Lyrie watched him carefully. You could abandon me now, she said. Yeah, Ethan replied. I could. Yet you do not. He shrugged again. Guess I'm still stupid. She stepped closer. No, she said softly. You are something rare. He glanced at her. What's that? Kind. The journey back to Outpost K-17 should have taken 6 hours. They never made it. Halfway through, the sensors lit up. 3 ships. Fast. Closing in. Ethan cursed. Let me guess. Karth. Lyrie's expression darkened. Yes. The ships emerged from hyperspace like predators. Jagged. Black. Hungry. Ethan's ship was no match. Hold on, he shouted, pulling hard on the controls. Lasers tore past them, grazing the hull. Warning alarm screamed. You cannot outrun them, Lyrie said calmly. Working on it. Ethan snapped. Another blast hit them. Systems flickered. Shields failed. Ethan's jaw tightened. He had been here before. Outgunned. Outmatched. Out of options. But not out of time. Not yet. Listen, Lyrie said suddenly. If they capture me, many will suffer. Ethan didn't respond. You must leave me. No, her eyes sharpened. That is not a request. Too bad, he said. Another explosion rocked the ship. He slammed a lever, diverting power. You're not dying, he said. And you're not getting taken. You cannot win this. Ethan grinned grimly. Watch me try. He spun the ship directly toward the debris field ahead. Asteroids. Wreckage. Chaos. Are you insane? Lyrie asked. Probably. They plunged into the field. The Karth ships followed. Big mistake. Ethan knew this kind of terrain. He weaved between massive chunks of metal, using them as cover, forcing the larger ships into tight turns. One clipped an asteroid. Another collided with debris. The third stayed on him. Persistent. Smart. Dangerous. Come on, Ethan muttered. He cut engines suddenly. The ship drifted. Silent. The Karth vessel overshot, then turned. Too fast. Too close. Ethan slammed power back on and fired everything he had. The blast struck the enemy ship's weakened flank. For a moment, nothing. Then explosion. Silence. Ethan exhaled slowly. We're alive, he said. Lyrie stared at him. You destroyed them. Yeah, he said. Don't get used to it. But she didn't look impressed. She looked changed. Ending. The Queen who came at midnight. They reached Outpost K, 17 hours later. Ethan helped Lyrie down the ramp. The station looked even more miserable next to her presence. This is where you live? She asked. Yep. Don't judge. She didn't. Instead, she turned to him. You have done more than save me, she said. You have protected a future you do not understand. Ethan shrugged. Just doing the right thing. She stepped closer. In my empire, such actions are not forgotten. He smirked. So what? I get a medal? She studied him for a long moment. Then she said, I promised a reward. Ethan waved a hand. You don't owe me anything. Her eyes gleamed. I do. That night, Ethan went to sleep thinking it was over. He was wrong. At midnight, the station alarms blared. Ethan jolted awake. What now? The sky outside burned with light. Ships.
Dozens of them.
No, hundreds. Massive, elegant, glowing. Alien. The entire station panicked. People ran. Systems overloaded. Security scrambled. Ethan rushed outside and froze. The fleet hung above them like a living constellation. At its center, a colossal ship descended slowly. Majestic.
Terrifying.
Beautiful. A single beam of light touched the ground, and from it she emerged. Queen Lyrie. No longer wounded. No longer weak. Now undeniable. The crowd fell silent. Even the air seemed to hold its breath. She walked forward, her presence commanding everything. Her eyes found Ethan.
And softened.
She spoke, not just to him, but to everyone. This human saved me when I was broken. Her voice echoed through every mind. He stood against those who would enslave me. She stepped closer. He asked for nothing. Ethan shifted awkwardly. You didn't have to bring all this. A faint smile. I did not come to repay a debt, she said. I came to honor it. She raised her hand, and the fleet responded. Ships shifted. Energy pulsed. The station's failing systems suddenly surged with life. Power restored. Damage repaired. Air stabilized. Ethan blinked. You just fixed everything? This is but a fragment of what I can give. She stepped even closer. And now, my reward. The crowd leaned in. She looked directly at him. You showed me that strength is not dominion but choice. Her voice softened. And so, I offer you one. Come with me. The words hit harder than any weapon. Leave this place. See the stars as I do. Stand beside me, not as a subject, but as an equal. Ethan stared at her. The fleet, the sky, the future. He thought about the war he left behind, the life he barely lived, the man he used to be. Then he looked at her, the queen he had saved, the woman who had come back for him, and he smiled. You know, he said, this is the weirdest night of my life. A soft laugh escaped her. Will you accept? Ethan took a breath, then stepped forward. Yeah, he said. I think I will. The beam of light returned. Together they rose. Human and queen. Unknown and impossible. And as the fleet turned toward the stars, Outpost K-17 watched in silence. Because that night, they all learned something. That even in the darkest corners of space, a single act of kindness could change the fate of entire galaxies.